Hey internet friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over this footage here as you are watching of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. This is 1 week after their disappearance from their home on Gairloch Road in Pictou, Nova Scotia. And the conditions are around the same as they were the day they went missing. It's just rainy, dreary, and just wet and nasty, basically. That's usually how it is in March, April, and May when the seasons are changing up in the Northeast. So, as you can tell, in the driveway, it's pretty wet. So, in my opinion, if the children did in fact walk off somewhere, you'd be able to see footprints and fresh tire tracks, something. You can kind of see them here. I have slowed down this video, and then I'm going to post some photos here in just a moment so you can look at, and you can definitely make out tire tracks. Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I believe Janie thinks that somebody was watching her, maybe drove by or walked by or something the night before Jack and Lilly went missing. Hence why she made up, or maybe she was filling potholes or leveling out of ground for a pool. It's just very odd to me. But why bring that up? Why think about it? Why bring that up, that you're leveling out the ground for a pool? It just doesn't make sense, in my opinion. Why put that detail in there? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. It has nothing to do with Jack and Lily's disappearance. Yes, if she really was doing this on Thursday evening, but why? Think about it. Is she trying to get brownie points for putting a pool up for the kids? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. But let's get started with this inconsistency. I've literally been listening to Dispatch again today, and every day I hear something new. So if you remember Malaya's text to Belinda, she said the kids were last heard in the room at 8:30 a.m. on that Friday. All right. But when you listen to the dispatch that I'm going to play in just a moment, the RCMP on the dispatch says the kids haven't been seen since 8 o'clock a.m. Now, was that when Lily came in and out of the bedroom door? When Daniel was saying, hey, we're trying to sleep or feed the baby. We don't want the baby to wake up, talking about Meadow. So was that the last time they were seen? And then Malaya said that she heard the kids at 8:30. And then Janie saying that she heard the kids outside her RV. Then you have this message here. It says, Martel says Lilly and Jack never go into the woods by themselves. Keep that in mind as we continue. He continues and says, he describes them as vulnerable and autistic. And then we never cross the road. We have cabins we built up in the woods. So I'm guessing he's referring to their little fort as a cabin, I'm guessing. And then continues on and says, and that's where usually as far as we take them, he says. Daniel says he and Malaya asked Lilly and Jack to quiet down Friday morning to let the baby sleep. Now, this doesn't make sense to me. He estimates it took 20 minutes to notice the two children were gone. But he says a few minutes went by. I heard nothing. Got up, went and looked for the children. Okay, so that makes no sense. 20 minutes and then a few minutes. Now, check this out. So if Malaya heard them in the room at 8:30, okay, heard them because supposedly the last time they were seen was 8 o'clock, and I'm guessing that's when they went in and out of the room. And then Janie says that she heard them outside. But if you think about it, Martel says it was about 20 minutes after he heard them. That would have been 8:30. Add 20 minutes onto that, which would be 8:50. So why was the police not called until 10 o'clock in the morning? Yes, he did say that they didn't call 911 right away, but he said it took 30 seconds for him to run and check the woods. But then again, remember, I'm going to go back to that. He says that to check the woods, but the kids would never go in the woods. Everybody says the kids would not go in the woods, but that's the first place that Daniel Martell and Janie checked. Why is that? And it's not like they just checked their little forts. They actually went out and searched all over in the woods. That's what Janie says. She went all the way to this dirt road in the back.
Now, in their bedroom, we called this morning, and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out. Corporal McGinnis, can you copy there? I think your portable's spotty. Was that you I heard on here that was going to do a search of the residence again?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They were going to do the property and the residence again.
Okay, so now that you've heard dispatch, let's listen to Janie again go over Friday morning. And this is not on her interview with CBC. This is the actual voice messages that I have saved. Stay tuned.
Friday morning, I get up at 6 o'clock. I sat here and played on Facebook. I sent a thing to my brother at 6:24. And at 7 o'clock, I went out and I did up the chickens. And I came back in. I sat here. I played on Team U, which is the worst thing you can get addicted to. And then my brother called me at 8:48. Talked for 2 minutes and 59 seconds. He asked me if I was going to town. I said no. I said I'm staying home. I'm going back to bed to have a sleep. I went back to bed. It wasn't long after that. I can't tell you how long. I laid there for a little while playing on Facebook. I dozed off. I heard the dog bark. The kids were outside. I heard the kids. And then after that, I didn't hear nothing. Everything just went completely silent. And I don't know how long after that, I heard Daniel yelling for the kids. I figured he was yelling at the kids to get inside, or Jack was letting my chickens out, which he usually does. He let them out a few times. So I figured Daniel was getting mad at him for that.
Okay, so if Janie was on the phone at 8:48 and she was done off the phone around approximately 8:50, 8:51 a.m., wouldn't that have been around the time that Daniel came out of the house screaming? Think about it. Malaya, she heard the kids at 8:30, okay? And then Daniel said that it took him about, 20 minutes or so to realize the kids were gone. So that would have been 8:50, correct? And then, but Janie just got off the phone with her brother, supposedly, at that time, because we have the timestamp from that, which I'm going to show you here. So I'm just a little confused here. So it just doesn't make sense, right? So if you stopped hearing the kids at 8:30, all right, they were last seen at 8, you stopped hearing them at 8:30, Daniel says that it took him 20 minutes to realize they were gone, okay, that we just seen that just a few clips ago in the beginning of the video. I'm going to post it again. So it sounds like to me that Janie was the last person to hear Lilly and Jack Sullivan before they poofed, vanished into midair. Right? Am I right? So then we find out that the boot print is right there in front of her RV. At first, we were told it was 2 boot prints and they were facing the road. And then it went to 1. And that supposedly happens to be the same spot that she was leveling out the gravel for a pool. That's the same spot she was sitting at crying on the sawhorse. And I believe that the RCMP find that suspect as well. Hence why they searched her RV 3 times in her words. So they even put a drone underneath her RV. She says they went so far as to take the drum out of the washing machine. So what do you guys think? This is just baffling to me. Where is Lilly and Jack? Enough time has went on, too much time, that one of these 3 adults, or all 3 of them, need to come forward and tell the truth. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video for more updates.